Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the inaugural race of the Super Metroid Link to the Past Combo Randomizer 2v2 tournament. I am Big Doc, joined by Jagger G on commentary.
Hello.
And welcome to Nest Cartridge and Tony T. Young on tracking. Thank you, everybody. How you doing, Jagger?
I'm doing well. My forehead is pretty moist, but we'll get through this. It's a warm summer day.
It's humid here too, so I know how you feel.
Hopefully, we get early Variasu to compensate.
And as you can see, we have So and Scarlet on your left, Team FROMPS time, and Ike here and Windfox 470, Team Poor Life Choices on your right. Now, our racers are running on a 10-minute delay because there are prizes at stake in this tournament. We are 9 minutes into that now, so we should see them starting within the next minute or so. Real quick, Jagger, where are you hoping we find some progression?
You know, I'd like to see an early Morphball, see some players go into Super Metroid. It seems pretty common that Morphball can be in pretty shortly locations, but yeah, let's get some fasts going.
One of the things that's most impressive to me in the combo randomizer is when you have to navigate without the Morphball, because you really take it for granted until you don't have it.
It is really interesting. There's a lot you can do with just Speed Booster.
Yeah, Speed Booster and Screw Attack usually do about the same thing. Get you as far as Big Pink and Brimstone and a few other spots. Any troll locations you'd like to see progression at?
I'm not. Well, maybe Shack Tool once in a while, but like, more importantly, I'd like to see an interesting combination of items. Stuff like people needing to do a little bit of suitless Meridia is always fun. Maybe not so much for the players, but for the audience at least. And off we go.
Looks like everyone is using the standard Samus Sprite and palette. You see Windfox 470, all our runners actually, doing the arm pump trick, which functions by tapping L or R as you're moving. It causes you to shift forward a pixel every time you do it. You're not actually moving faster, but it comes to the same thing over the course of a run. It'll save a little time. All right, and we've got Scarlet as the one person. Oh, Scarlet and Ike here are both checking the Morph Pedestal in Super Metroid, as well as the Retro Brain Energy Tank. There's those two items.
And we get a map check on So's end. Unfortunately, I didn't quite catch it, but yeah, it's nice to see Morph Ball at Link's house. There we go. That's one thing I wanted.
I saw Crystals 5 and 6 at Hera and Eastern. I didn't catch what Desert was. But yeah, there's that early Morph Ball. That's going to make Super Metroid as an early option a lot more appealing.
So we see So going over to the Sanctuary and just going immediately to the fairy cave on the right side. That's going to allow them to just jump into the water a few times, which for some reason decides to push the camera down a pixel every time you do that. And that dislodges the camera, which confuses the coordinates of the cave they drop down and just puts them right in the Houlihan debug room.
Yeah, and that's a free 225 rupees once per game, and that'll mean So has plenty of money to buy bombs if they need to, just in case none show up.
It's very bizarre how old Nintendo games typically have screen transitions based on where the screen is.
Alrighty, in the meantime, Ike here and Scarlet found the grappling beam in the Retro Brain E-Tank ceiling, and just I believe a 50 rupee pack at the Morphball pedestal. It looks like Uncle's got a pack of arrows.
Interesting to see the play to Uncle. Do they have a weapon here?
I don't believe so. The moat chest is an energy tank. That's a good start.
I personally like going to the uncle early. However, it would be real convenient if you had some kind of weapon to go there and do the castle checks immediately when you go there. In some cases, you could just pull on a tree and sometimes it'll give you bombs, but I'm not entirely sure what the tree pulls are for this particular seed. There are 3 tiers of tree pulls for killing various enemies and or taking damage.
Hydropower in chat pointed out that one of those tree poles was a bomb drop for Windfox, as Windfox also finds the flippers at the thief side out. And there is a 3rd crystal in the light world of desert, so that means we have 3 pendants in the dark world. Alrighty, Ike here and Scarlet are heading over to the race game. Scarlet's gonna check it. Ike here's doing it sight unseen. And it's our flute.
And that was the right play.
Yeah, so Ike here will save a little bit of time over Scarlet here as Windfox is into blind space. Spent 5 prizes here. I think I just saw the silver arrows in the bottom left chest.
Yeah, that is correct. That's going to be nice as soon as they get bow. That's really helpful on a lot of bosses. It actually one-shots most bosses in the game, with the exception of 2, I believe. Well, I guess 3.
I believe that was the ice rod at the back.
I think so.
If I remember correctly, there are the silver arrows do not one-shot Vitreous's big eyeball. He takes 2. Ganon takes 4 since he's the final boss. And if there's any others that can survive 1, I don't know.
Yeah, well, some of them are immune to arrows in general, but other than that, yeah, most things. Generally, I think the silver arrows, I want to say, do 64 damage. At least to things that are vulnerable to it.
We're finding a decent amount of Super Metroid ammunition, but we're still looking for the Morph Ball bombs or a pack of power bombs. That'll give us mobility in Super Metroid. Without one of those, there's not a whole bunch of places the Morph Ball will get us to.
It might be 128 damage for some bosses. I'm not entirely sure.
Yeah, I've never really done a deep dive into the numbers on the Link to the Past, so I'm not sure either.
The interesting thing about damage in A Link to the Past is it isn't necessarily like a weapon does a certain amount of damage. It's that it's coded so that an enemy takes a certain amount of damage from each weapon type, and it's just each enemy has its own damage table. So it's mostly consistent, but not entirely.
It sounds to me like that's actually backward from the way most games would do it.
It seems it might be inefficient. I don't know, but at the same time, it also allows them to just give enemies different vulnerabilities. So, like a lot of enemies take damage. Like some of the weak enemies take damage from boomerangs. As incidentally, so do the Armos Knight's boss. But for the most part, enemies are usually stunned by boomerang, and others are just completely immune. So that's one way to do that.
Alright, we got a little bit of downtime while we've got our runners crisscrossing checks that everyone else has already done. Talking to Chad, what are you guys hoping to see out of this seed?
Pedestal. I had a seed the other day where I had a glove in the pantry in Super Metroid where you like below Crocomire. And that led to my mitts in the Village of Outcasts, and that led to Morph Ball in, I want to say, Super Bunny Cave or something.
Alrighty, Windfox has freed the duck, so we'll see where he goes. Straight to the dam. 2-item, muddy item and dam chest here.
So you could definitely get some pretty wild, real rude seeds sometimes. And we're still so early. It's been a pretty fast seed so far, with 3 Light World dungeons being crystals. Those are going to be fast clears. We got Morph Ball, we got Flippers, we got Ocarina, but there is still quite a bit of game left to potentially troll.
Hey, there's our lamp as the muddy item. Henry Lebesque, what is off about the sound? Alrighty, looks like Windfox is over to the desert area. Everyone else is heading over to the to our mini mole form.
And currently the game audio is the top left screen, I believe.
Alright, Agina's item is 50 rupees, if I saw that right. So and Ike here are both at the mini Moldorm, using the bombs as grenades.
Yeah, they will one-shot the Moldorms eventually once they might make contact. I don't know why, but with such squirmy enemies, you would think they would run into the bombs so frequently, but they're usually dodging them.
The only thing of note in mini Moldorm was the Quake medallion at the far right chest. Alright, Scarlet is gonna rescue Gary the Old Man on Death Mountain. So and Ike here are both on their way to, looks like, Ice Rod Cave, and Windfox is in the Eastern Palace area. Alrighty, Windfox asking Sahasrahla where the green pendant is. It's in the Palace of Darkness. And the closet's got a heart piece, super missiles, and the moon pearl.
Nice. There very frequently seems to be things in the back of Sriracha's closet. And while Windfox is continuing on into Eastern Palace, this is a very common play. Even though they don't have the bow, they may not be able to full clear it. There is so frequently progression in Eastern Palace that you just want to make sure.
Yeah, and with Pod being independent, there's a real chance there won't be an opportunity to mirror back.
True. Although it does have 5 items, we're kind of hoping, or the players are kind of hoping, it just won't be required.
But yeah, Eastern is 3 prices, correct?
Yes.
Alrighty, Scarlet finds us our first pack of power bombs inside Spectacle Rock. Now the magic number there is going to be 3. If Ice Beam doesn't show up, 3 packs for 15 power bombs is enough to take care of the Metroid at the end of Super Metroid without needing to backtrack to refill or rely on drop block. Ooh,
Oh, that was a really good bomb jump by Scarlet to get across the gap in Spectacle Cave so they don't have to go all the way around the mountain.
And in the meantime, that's the Book of Mudora at the top of Spectacle Rock. So that may be our access to Desert, which means Desert might be mirror locked. Actually, no, Desert is hard mirror locked because either way you need it.
Yep.
All right, Scarlet into Super Metroid, checking out the high jump area.
Got it. First sword and Waterfall Fairy Cave. Left side. On Acre's End.
Ike here is heading up to take a look at the ledge item, but not enough rupees to pay off King Zora. Ledge item is missiles, and Ike here is going to head out of there.
It kind of feels bad.
Right. Windfox finds an energy tank in Eastern. I didn't see what else they found. Well, obviously they've also found the big key because they just opened the big chest for the map.
Okay, so just the one E-tank so far. Oh, there are 3 chests in this start. Right.
Or yeah, we can go all the way through Eastern. We just can't defeat the Armos Knights. I think the sword does damage them, but the logic doesn't expect that. Correct?
The thing is that although the sword absolutely damages them, the sword does not damage the Igors that you need to kill to open the door to get to Armos Knights. So yeah, they definitely need the bow to beat the boss or to get to the boss.
Oh, that's why. Okay.
Similarly, in Palace of Darkness, there's just a statue that you need to shoot. Even though you could do a mimic clip to get through the mimic rooms, you still need to shoot the statue to move the wall out of the way of the staircase.
Right. Our second pack of power bombs was at that first chest in Eastern. Just Sojo's got that. Windfox taking out all the enemies to release the anti-fairies and gain access to the button that will make the big key chest appear.
There we go, power bombs.
And that's our magic number 15. That was fast.
Oh, nice.
Well, it's 15 between all of our runners, so we'll see who gets what.
Yeah, 15 is a very special number for power bombs. It allows them, alongside 10 missiles and 10 supers, it allows them to recover health if they get in tight situations or if they want to do some heck runs later on.
Ah, yes, the Crystal Flash. Good point. Scarlet going for the Alcatraz escape here. That's one of the strats that can be expected on the hard Super Metroid logic, which is what the tournament is running under. Scarlet does have the power bombs though, so they didn't need to do that. It just if you get it first try, it's quicker. That's blueberries at the Terminator item.
And screw attack on the man under the bridge.
Ooh, screw attack is going to be really handy because since that destroys bomb blocks. Okay, nothing at the back of the gauntlet. Yeah, since screw attack destroys bomb blocks, that makes our runners that much less likely to soft lock by running out of power bombs. Right, and you see Windfox there left that right chest. That's one of the things that makes a co-op seed a little faster than a standard seed. Ikir told Windfox what was in there, and so Windfox knew what he could leave behind.
Yeah, you would think that this, in general, this is gonna yield faster times. This is definitely gonna bring down the average time for players throughout the tournament. But interestingly, I think the theoretically a solo time would be faster, just because the players are going to be splitting up checks. It's going to mean one of the players is going to not find everything all at the same time. Like they're going to be checking different things, so one person is going to get lucky and the other is going to catch up.
Alrighty, we've got Ike here into Craylair, and Scarlet is checking the Etikun area. Looks like Windfox is heading back to Super Metroid as well. When you save and link to the past, you can hard reset and you'll respawn at the ship. That's used as a shortcut by some routing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the nice thing about kind of slowing down individual players is that it's going to make the races generally more close, as well as just make it more or less luck dependent. So since the players are going to be sharing information.
Windfox going for a very difficult set of wall jumps to reach the gauntlet area. There's one item we haven't seen there at a Chozo in the middle. These jumps are another trick expected by the hard logic. And in the meantime, Ikir quickly pumps 4 super missiles into Kraid to quick kill him so that he doesn't stand up.
Very nicely done.
But he looks like Poor Life Choices is abandoning that line of inquiry and will be heading off into the parlor. So is heading for the basement. Ikir finds an energy tank behind Kraid, and Scarlet is over into Big Pink.
And so is showing off the fancy setting for the combo rando to double the heartbeat.
And I believe I saw one of the beams. Yes, that was the wave beam at the first chest in the dungeon. All right, there's a 300 rupee pack for Scarlet at the charge beam Chozo. Scarlet fires a super missile from a specific spot to break a super missile brick off screen, so that she can backdoor to the Chozo that normally has the alpha super missiles. And it's our Bombos medallion there.
So all races are playing the same single player seed. It's just that this is a 2v2 tournament where 2 players on a team are going to be sharing information with each other in order to ensure they both finish as fast as possible. And the first team to collectively finish their games is going to win the matches.
Scarlet using another super missile acceleration clip to open that gate from the wrong side. Another trick that can be expected by the hard logic for a heart container.
That particular one is interesting because normally that only works with the with gates facing the other direction. However, in this case, it actually shoots through a gate that isn't loaded because it's off screen. And it just hits the button on the other side before the super missile has a chance to despawn. It's a very precise shot.
Green Hill Zone item is 3 bombs. Looks like So is heading back into the basement. Did he take a death?
He did. I guess that wasn't intentional. Wait, no. He actually did Dark Cross first, and then the back, and then he death warped to the front. Okay, this is all is fine.
Oh, did he steal a small key?
I suppose so.
All right, so taking out the guard with a grenade, bomb.
Yeah, normally the green gate glitch works by pushing the super missile forward by moving at the same time you shoot it, and that will get it enough speed that it'll pass right through the gate. But it only works when moving from right to left. So in the case of the wave gate in Brinstar, you do have to have the gate off screen so that it can actually hit the button without being impeded.
All right, So and Scarlet haven't found that first sword yet. So is fighting down here with Potts. Gets the big key, and there's the shovel in Zelda's cell. Ready, now that's Ike here into the dungeon as Windfox is cleaning up the etiquette area. Scarlet is doing the top of the red tower. She must have gone up from the connection to Green Hill Zone.
Two E-tanks. They have an opportunity to go to the Rick ship and fight Fantoon, but I really wouldn't recommend it at this point. Fantoon hurts a lot.
It is at least more than the any percent run would have at this point.
That's true. But we all know how Fantoon works in any percent.
Indeed.
Not always in the player's favor.
Alrighty, so got the spazer from the old man. I didn't see that when Scarlet dated earlier. Leon Kieran tossing a Prime Gaming subscription to the channel. Thank you for that. This is a fun format indeed.
Windfox doing a similar trick, getting into the Spore Spawn super missiles. Scarlet already did that before, but basically that's the same trick where the screen kind of locks in place and the super missile is going to despawn when it goes off screen, but with the exact correct position, it's going to hit the block before, like just before despawning.
Meantime, Scarlet found the gravity suit at the moat. That's a lot of Super Metroid access. And I believe I also saw she has the spring ball from somewhere.
Nice.
Alright, So is heading back to Super Metroid. Windfox is in Big Pink. Ikir is in the dungeon. And Spooky Missiles is just missiles. Was unchanged. Crystal Nemo in chat saying Spring Ball was in pre-high jump. Thank you for that confirmation. All right, Scarlet has 2 power bombs here, so she won't get soft locked if Fantoon doesn't drop any. But Fantoon has 2,500 health, can move in a fast, medium, or slow pattern before opening his eye and becoming vulnerable, and can then wait a long, medium, or short time before closing it again. So unfortunately, this fight is determined by RNG at this point. There's the fast open, and Scarlet looks to be going for grappler straps. Can't quite get it started on that first round.
It's a pretty hard fight. I always struggle with it. I think I averaged like 3.5 rounds. I can never hit it when it first opens. I just need to memorize the patterns better. You can generally get a feel for when the eye is going to open and when exactly you need to fire, and then train your hands to actually switch to missiles at the right time. But it's hard.
Yeah, muscle memory is a heck of a thing. Scarlet finishing off Fantoon with a super missile. They actually do double damage to him for 600 compared to 300. But if a super missile doesn't kill Fantoon, they will rage him and he'll sit at the top of the screen, send out waves of blue fire for about 30 seconds. Question in chat, I would say Doppler is a little more consistent than the X Factor strat, just because the X Factor strategy, if a particle misses, you're stuck there for a while. you're stuck there for a little while while you wait for the last projectile to despawn.
So what Windfox is doing here now is climbing up Red Tower with wall jumps. Normally, you're expected to have Ice Beam in the vanilla game to be able to climb up there, but a neat property with the wall jump is that you can wall jump up to, I want to say 9 pixels, maybe 7 pixels away from the wall. So you can give yourself a bit of space before you jump, so you can clear it more easily. But it still takes quite a bit of practice. And they're just bailing in, just trying to gate glitch through this blue gate here.
Alrighty, if I'm Windfox at this point, I'm going to take the power bomb door to retrograde and get that out of the way. Scarlet making a save at the red ship save room and going to head over to the right side of red ship and check the red ship E-tank chozo. So if there's nothing there, she can reset to the save and save the backtrack time. Yeah, Windfox having trouble with the wall jump here. This is a very difficult one.
Yeah, it's probably about as tough as the Red Tower one as well. Like, you do have to, maybe you don't strictly have to, but it helps to delay the wall jump a bit, so you can pull away from the pipe before jumping. And you want to jump off the top half of the pipe.
Oh. Okay, what's Ikea up to here? Looks like they finished in...
Oh, Windfox almost has it.
Yeah, he wants it real bad. Meantime, Scarlet's in the attic room. Got to clean out all the enemies. My connection fritzed out for a sec. You were saying to wall jump from the top of the pipe?
Yes, and like delay the wall jump a little bit more than you may be used to as well. It gives you a bit more leftward distance and allows you to make it up to the top of the ledge, so you can wall jump off of that and not bonk your head.
Windfox did get it, so that was well done.
Yeah.
Oh, Scarlet finding the ice beam in the attic. So now we don't need to worry about power bombing the Metroids. Unless, although without the morph bombs, if one of our players gets grabbed by a Metroid, they will need to power bomb it to destroy it.
And it'll take 3 power bombs and requiring at least 2 double hits.
Yeah, the Metroids take 5 power bomb hits to kill, and each power bomb can hit them twice. Alright, so is going for the gauntlet wall jump now. We'll see if he gets it.
Okay, the speed booster item in Wreck Ship is just blue mail. They probably won't be wanting that. Grapple beam in the ceiling is nice. I don't know how much time I'd be willing to spend on this personally. I think after the second attempt, might as well just bail. Although out of power bombs is real unfortunate for this point.
Yeah, that means Windfox is not going to be able to head up to Billy Mays.
Is that mirror in Wreck Ship area? Like outside? That's... wow. That was definitely the play today.
At the Morpho Maze or Missiles in the Sky?
The maze, I believe.
Well then. All right, Scarlet at the Chozo to take you to the gravity suit. That'll give her a 30-second break or so. Got your breath, take a drink.
Oh, that was really convenient when Fox getting a power bomb dropped right outside where they need power bombs and could just screw attack on up.
Alrighty, there's a missile tank, but wait, there's more, a reserve tank.
I personally love reserve tanks, or I appreciate them. I respect them. A very unpopular opinion, but they don't get filled up when you first grab them. You have to fill them up kind of manually, pretty much, and they don't get filled up by the energy recharge stations. So a lot of people just consider them nerfed energy tanks, pretty much. But they do have some fringe uses.
Noting... Right. See, chat noted that Scarlet skipped a 300 rupee pickup at the destructible Chozo below by the gravity suit item. That item was just a capacity upgrade.
And when Fox gets a grapple, they're likely going to be on their way to the wreck ship afterwards and going to get their haul right behind Iker.
So is wall jumping up the shafts, the super shaft. We'll see if there's anything at this item.
When I fought Fantoon as a wee lad, when I was kind of first starting out, I used to go with a farming strat on the eyeballs when I was low on health. You can actually just kind of sit in the corner and just farm up on the flames that rain down, but it does take a really long time, and unfortunately, it's not really something you want to do in a race, but it is an option if you ever get really low on health.
I remember doing that too.
It takes forever, but you might not die.
Missiles in the old mother brain room is just a +5 arrow capacity, so it's not going to take that.
It's especially helpful if you have both angle buttons mapped. A lot of players will actually remove one of the angle buttons so they could use it for dash or some other useful functionality, but having two angle buttons allows you to actually aim straight up whenever you're crouched.
Ooh, and Iker hit Fantoon with a super missile and didn't kill him, so there's the enraged state I was talking about. Right, so is getting his retro brain cleaned up. Yeah, screw attack MVP right there. Pseudo screw attack by spin jumping with your beam charge can do the same thing, but obviously we don't have the charge yet.
Yeah, that was always an interesting mechanic I liked.
Alright, Scarlet heading for the hobo. Iker is done with Fantoon, so is heading up to Billy Mays. Windfox going for the gauntlet wall jumps again.
Yeah, I'm a little surprised. Do we know what's up there?
We've seen it, but I missed it.
Okay.
I don't remember if Iker got it. I know someone on So and Scarlet did. Alright, Windfox has to be careful here. That acid does 80 damage a second with only the power suit.
Yeah, and this is glove for Windfox. It's very handy. I would have like if I'm not confident in a particular trick, I may opt out for something else nearby, like kind of following a partner into wreck ship and hoping they find space jump or high jump or something, or maybe not high jump for gauntlet, but like speed booster or something.
But Scarlett's over to E-Death Mountain. She found the hook shot somewhere. I didn't see that. Finds the bow and a heart piece at the bottom of Paradox.
It's really good progress from Windfox, making sure to save it by saving its ship. So that gravity suit is super useful. It does reduce damage. Now normally it just kind of obsoletes the Varia suit in most cases in vanilla, but in the randomizer it's kind of been separated so that the gravity suit doesn't reduce heat damage, or it doesn't eliminate heat damage, and it doesn't eliminate spike damage either. Or it doesn't reduce spike damage either, so you still take 60 damage from spikes per hit.
If I remember the overall description properly, the Varia reduces enemy damage and the gravity reduces environment damage, other than heated rooms.
I'll flip that, but yeah.
Okay. All right, Scarlet is heading through Spiral Cave. Okay. MM2 Nesson saying, Ancient Gamer saying I got that backward. That's my bad. Thank you for correcting me. Still, always something new to learn.
Yeah, I figured it was just like a kind of misspeech or something. But yeah, the Varia suit is intended in the game to allow you access to heated areas. So it just takes the role of environmental damage reduction.
All right, Windfox into his Fantoon fight. So checking Mission Impossible. Oh, right side missiles. Someone said right side missiles is where the hookshot was. All right, Scarlet is going to get her book, and while she's here, if I was in her position, I would check that tablet, see if there's anything there, just disqualify it immediately. And that is what she's going to do.
Yeah, although they don't have the Master Sword to be able to actually get the item, it will tell you what the item, or give you a clue as to what the item is. So you know whether or not you ever need to come back, and usually you don't. So it's basically the same as getting the item.
We are a hammer or glove away from access to the Dark World, as Scarlet is into the Tower of Hera. There's a small key. There was a small key in the other basement room, and big key right there.
Interesting.
Looks like Scarlet's going to go for the bomb jump into the pot to warp up.
This is a tricky one. This is a double frame perfect trick where you have to be vertically and horizontally aligned with both the bomb placement and the where you're standing relative to the bomb to get pushed just very slightly into the pot. That allows you to hookshot the other side of the pot from the inside and just pull you in. You do need to be very careful though. If you accidentally move up first, you'll just get stuck in a permanent walking state. You won't even be allowed to save and quit. But instead you just tap left and get pushed rightward, and then you just walk up into the pot.
All right, Scarlet got the pot warp first try. She found a missile pack at the big chest, and then went back down to the bottom. And I think, okay, so either Moldworm has the last item, or this is, and then Moldworm has the compass. Oh yes, Hydropower pointed out Scarlet doesn't have that sword, so she can't kill Moldorm.
Ah, yes. Could be here.
Alright, so Scarlet is hoping the item is here, so that she just has to come back for Moldorm and doesn't have to come back for the item too.
Oof, alright.
Alright, and okay, so it was the compass we found. It was the compass we found, not the map. My mistake. So, yeah, Moldorm has the other prize in Tower of Hera. Although that is valuable knowledge. Now So will know that he doesn't have to go to the basement.
Yeah, I think you're going to see a lot of very thorough play early on in the tournament, but as things kind of closen up in later rounds, you might see more risks being taken and a lot more items being skipped, like the Hera basement.
Alrighty, Scarlet's over into Kraid, as So is into Red Ship. Ike here is on his way back. Windfox is in cleaning out Red Ship. And now, I note that we have found Ice Wave and Spacer. Once we find Charge Beam, that'll be 300 damage per charge shot, which is equivalent to a super missile. Ideally, we'll find the Plasma Beam at some point, which lets the beam pierce enemies, and also results in that charge shot damage going up to 900. The only super missiles are slightly faster DPS, but only because you don't have to charge them. Scarlet gets a slightly delayed quick kill on Kraid. I actually didn't know that he could take that one missile without rising out of the ground. I thought any damage to him would cause him to wake up.
Yeah, I think it's 2 missiles makes him stand up. I want to say the charge beam is usually preferred on bosses like Ridley and Mother Brain.
Mother Brain for sure, but Ridley is arguable since he also takes double damage from supers like Phantoon
That is
does.
true.
Ooh, fast eye close on So's side. That's unfortunate. Yeah. Phantoon being a bit of a troll. But Scarlet breaks open the glass tube and is now heading into Meridia. Ooh, there's our other lift upgrade at Mainstream Missiles. That is hard locked by Speed Boost.
And it's going to be required as well.
Yeah, there is no layout that can make 2 gloves not required, correct?
Right. So, although you could theoretically get all 7 crystals without mitts with the right dungeon layout, you still actually need the mitts in order to get into the Dark World Death Mountain area to actually get to Ganon's Tower.
Yeah, someone earlier in chat pointed out that we actually do have access to some of the Dark World through the cross-game portal in Meridia, which leads to Dark Ice Rod.
I've had to do that. I had a seed where mitts were my go mode and gloves were my second to last item from go mode.
Oh,
it was pretty grand.
Alrighty, let's see what we have here. Scarlet is heading up Mount Everest, going for the gravity jump strat, it looks like. That functions by starting a jump with the fast momentum of air physics, and then turning off gravity suit so that you switch to the slow momentum decay of water physics. I think without the high jump, she does need to do this. Turn it back on and go for the wall jump.
It depends how tight your initial pause is. You can just barely make it, but it's pretty close.
I wasn't sure. Okay. In the meantime, when Fox is into Tower of Hera, he does have that sword, so he will be able to fight Moldorm.
Ooh, high jump.
High jump is always welcome.
It's a really popular item.
Yeah, it's not a critical item, but it's another one you don't think about until you don't have it.
Yeah, it takes ages to space jump without high jump to get any reasonable height.
Yeah, speed booster without high jump also makes your jump height go a bit screwy, so... Alright, it looks like Windfox is going for the Herapod too. Didn't get it.
It always takes me like 8 billion pauses to actually get the right the pixels. It's a tough one without Pegasus boots. With Pegasus boots, it's pretty free. You just kind of wing it and it works.
How does the Pegasus boots help you set it up?
So with the Pegasus boots and with hookshot, if you use them at the same time and then you touch a staircase, it'll just change your movement speed to dashing speed. So you can just walk at dashing speed anywhere, and then you can line yourself up with the key door or the top wall, and then just kind of go to the middle of the key door, hit right and down, and just press, like time a hookshot press, so that sometimes you just nail the exact right pixel and it works.
All right, Windfox is still going for it. I admire the persistence. Oh, Magic Cape in the left sandpit along with our first shield. Scarlet is not going to keep that though.
And there are also very wonky physics when you have spin speed or hook speed, as they call it, because it has something to do with how corners are coded and how you're not really supposed to interact with corners when you're dashing. You're supposed to like get pushed out of them and such.
All right, Scarlet checking the right sand pit, and she has the grapple beam. I'm not sure if she has access to Shack Tool without high jump. No, she did get high jump. I'm not sure if she has access to Shack Tool without space jump, but she can probably get to him. I'm just not sure if he's in logic. Tracker Ram to Nescar saying that Shack with high jump is in logic. Thank you. There's also an ice flip you can do in the other side of this room, the pants room, to get to Shack Tool, and that actually might be easier than trying to spin jump up here and hit that one block gap.
Maybe. There is a thing you could do where you just when you're like underneath it, you could just tap up or down, or I guess just up or something, and you can just fall straight down and then tap left or right, like tap forward and then jump, and you'll do a jump straight up into the hole. So you can kind of position yourself that way.
Oh, well, in the meantime, Ikea is actually already in Shack Tool's room. I missed that completely somehow.
Another thing that, another reason that also helps is that when you're spin jumping, your hitbox is actually shorter, and when you unspin, as long as you're not holding down, then you can actually hit the sand sooner, so that when you spin jump again, the very first frame you're jumping, you're not in the sand, so you're not hindered at all. So you could get the full jump height.
In the meantime, Ikir got to Shack 2 landed, and he was just guarding an energy tank as Windfox takes out Moldorn for the last prize, which is just a heart piece.
Yeah, Scarlet right now is just doing spin cancels to land in the sand and is more easily able to jump out now.
Right, Ikir is heading for the left sand pit. We'll see if he keeps... Oh, Scarlet almost had it right there. There we go. She got it. Yeah, so we'll see if Ikir takes that shield and or keeps the magic cape. Although, we might still need AGA 1 for Dark World access depending on other item layouts. So the magic cape would do that for us.
Boingy, boingy, boingy.
All right, Windfox into Paradox Cave. Ikir is going for a snail clip up to the aqueduct items. This is another trick expected by the hard logic that can be expected by the hard logic. Visualizes the first item, it's just a red rupee, but cannot visualize the second one the same way. It's another screen over.
Yeah, this is the snail clip is really interesting. You could do the same thing with frozen enemies, just anywhere near one tile ceiling. Basically, you get yourself in exactly the right position where when you're crouched, the game detects that there is no ceiling above you, so it lets you jump at full speed. And when you...
I care about to do that for right here.
Yeah, basically. And as on the first frame that you're jumping, your head is already through the ceiling, so you do have to hit down when you're on. There he goes. And the first frame you're jumping, your head is like fully through the ceiling, so there's nothing above your head, so you don't get knocked back down. You could just jump right through it.
All right, Ikir is fighting Batwoon. He'll take 10 super missiles. And also we'll have Oops, Scarlet's over there too. Out. Oops, Scarlet manages to make the kill first. That'll put her slightly ahead of Ikir on this line of inquiry. Alrighty, what do we have? First Croc Energy Tank. Looks like was that the Cane of Burna? Yes.
Yep. So our tracker, unfortunately, is currently broken at the moment. I believe that's SpeedGaming wide, so it's having some trouble keeping up with it. So bear with us.
And Windfox takes the bottle they found a sick kid for the Varia suit, so we're not going to need outruns. I didn't actually see where Windfox found that bottle, though. Alright, Ikir is farming the bugs as Scarlet is into the Coliseum, I believe this one is.
Yep. Yeah, I'm not sure where the bottle was either.
Oh, Tracker MM2 Nest saying it was in Paradox Cave. Thank you.
Cool.
Alright, so is following up on Scarlet as Windfox is getting... Windfox will be clearing out Eastern. Alright, Scarlet gonna make a save here. There are 2 items in this immediate area. Precious missiles in the next room down, and then the item behind Dragon. Defeating Dragon will also unlock the platinum, but that's very out of the way. That is actually the only item in the front of Meridia that you actually get to by taking the Forgotten Highway. Right, Scarlet is breaking those turrets open with missiles so that they're not trolling her while she fights Dragon. Well, she's got a couple options on how she wants to fight him, so we'll see what she goes for.
Yeah, I'm gonna guess the weapon of choice today is gonna be that deep-fried grapple beam.
Starting out with ammo, just because there's always at least one of those swoops. Gets hit by the gunk. Positioning. Ooh, doesn't quite get it. Yeah, she's gonna escape from that because she's. Yes, yeah, if Dragon keeps smacking her like that, she will die.
Might just be angling the weapon, just for funsies.
And grapple onto the broken turret, conduct the electricity through, but holds it too long and takes a death.
Defeated.
Fortunately, she saved right there, so.
Oh, it's the boss that's supposed to die.
Alrighty, Windfox is at the Armos Knight, so we'll see what they're holding real shortly. Just the compass. I guess we did see all the prices in the front.
Yeah, I make that mistake all the time. Whenever I go to the boss, I'm never sure which one of us is supposed to die to progress.
Ikir
My
is
story, at least.
Yeah, Ikir is fighting with straight super missiles, dropping a power bomb to get rid of the gunk, and might have him. Yep. Oh no, blade gunk.
The nice thing about Super Metroid bosses is that there's typically a save station right outside their doors, so it's typically less punishing than A Link to the Past bosses are.
Technically, the longest distance between a boss and the nearest save point is probably Phantoon, because before he's dead, the one in the red ship doesn't work. So the nearest save is either at the top of Red Tower or it's at the ship.
There we go. First try.
And much higher health. So yes, there we go. All right, there's another bottle behind Dragon. Big key in that chest there. I did not see what Windfox has seen. I don't know. Okay, so if this is a small key, then Desert is boots locked. It is. Well, there's one of our prizes at least.
Everyone's so excited to be in Meridia today. Everyone just going at the same time, having that gravity suit on makes it so nice to explore.
And Windfox the Rebel just doing what he wants to do. Alrighty,
I was a
heading
bit
to
surprised to see both Scarlet and So in here right now, but when you're here, might as well.
Alrighty, looks like Ikir is going to head for the plasma beam room and see what's there. I agree with that play. There's really no better time to do it than right after Dragon, because you're never. Once Meridia is gone, you're never coming back here, unless you need that cross game portal.
Yeah. So there is Dark World access here indeed, and Scarlet's making use of it right now. And with that hookshot, they're going to be able to access all of the vast majority of the Dark World by hookshotting across the Northern River.
Okay, so it looks like Windfox stole a key from the front to get to the back. Is that correct?
I don't think you need to steal a key to get to the back.
Okay, yeah, MM2 desk confirming you need to steal the key to get to the right side.
Yeah. I'm not sure if they found the other key to get to the right side or not.
Well, yeah, I did see a key on the torch. I thought that always meant
okay.
boots locked.
Logically, yes. So you're technically right. You do logically require the small key in order to access Landmollas. However, as long as you don't go to the right side, you can just kill Landmollas instead.
Okay, that does unfortunately mean we are leaving an item behind, so that might come into play. And Omega Wild pointed out, yes, we do need to come back to Meridia with the speed booster to get the mitts out of Main Street. Alrighty, Scarlet's into pod. So is on his way out of Dragon. Ike's the same. Alrighty, Windfox is heading up to Zora. I believe heading up to Zora.
The way key logic is usually described in A Link to the Past is that the logic will assume that you always make the worst possible decisions with your keys. I think technically it's more accurate to say the logic just will not make a decision if it has multiple choices, but it sounds neater to say you're bad at the game and you're gonna need all the keys.
Alrighty. Scam King just has a big piece of love. But Ike here is into the Dark World as well through the cross-game portal. Bombos is known, so we have access to Ice Palace, but Ike here doesn't have it. That 6-heart green mail fighter sword Dark World doesn't feel very good.
So speaking of key logic, we got Pod where the key logic is pretty in-depth. Basically, there are a lot of one-off checks that require a single key to access, as well as a couple of series of checks in the Dark Maze that require a key as well. And those checks will require all 6 keys logically to access. So basically, the first 4 chests in Pod are going to contain 4 keys, and then you know whether or not there are items in the right side if you have already done the left.
Yeah, and then Space Station 12 pointing out, no, we don't have access to Ice Palace because we don't have the mitts. That's my mistake.
So there could be more than 4 keys. There could be potentially even 6 keys. I've never seen it, but I've seen 5 from time to time. It's more common to only see 4 small keys in the front, though. Grapple is the best item in any video game, pretty much.
I wouldn't say it's the best, but I would say it's underrated.
I don't know, like every game, almost every game that has a grapple game is typically a good game, I find.
Scarlet's stocking up on money here and getting the two chests.
Scarlet's going to be mirroring back to the start of the dungeon or taking an intentional death warp, since they're low on hearts at this point. You might as well death warp just to get your health back. No, they have enough. Okay, they're feeling confident. And that's Red Cane in the big chest. That's nice. So already knew that. So their team is going to have access to... What do they have access to? They don't have access to Treasure Walk or Mire, do they?
No, I believe we need mitts for both of those, right?
Actually, you know what? They might be able to access Mire through Lower Norfair.
Right, the cross-game portal.
So on normal logic, you need both suits in order to do that. You can't really space jump in the lava without it. But they could do a gravity jump to get up through the lava to get to Lower Norfair that way.
So at the Waterfall of Wishing gets a green potion from the fairy. That is a guarantee in this randomizer. Wind Fox heading for Ice Beam does a mock ball to roll under the gate with running speed. That is another trick expected by the hard logic.
Yeah, that's kind of a trick that's not hard to do necessarily, but some newer players to Randomizer and or the game in general kind of struggle to understand it. Basically, what has to happen is you jump in the air and you hold jump, and right before you hit the ground, you morph, and your morph has a bit of an animation to it. And when you land on the ground during the animation, you won't bounce. But as soon as you're fully morphed, you'll continue rolling at the speed you were flying. So you just maintain running speed that way, or most of running speed.
The way I learned to do the trick was run, jump, tap down so you're aiming down, then as you hit the ground, roll from down to forward, like you're doing at
Yeah, exactly.
Wind Fox finds our second shield at Crumble Tower. Alright, Wind Fox so drinks his green potion so he can buy a blue potion. I agree with that call. Yeah, 7 hearts for So, green mail on the Dark World.
And in general, it's just nice to have a blue potion in the back pocket in case you just kind of overextend yourself and get into a tight position. The hardest part for me is actually putting the pride away and actually chugging the blue potion when I need it.
Alright, So is in the graveyard area. So there's a fair few items that So can get to here. I believe King's Tomb requires mitts.
Either mitts or the mirror. You can a mirror into like right next to King's Tomb and then just dash to open it up.
Gotcha.
Although the drop down from Sanctuary does require gloves, but they at least was it Iker that already did that through the front? Or Scarlet? One of them.
Yeah, we have seen the far back of escape. I believe So can check what the bumper ledge is to at this point. he is in the right area for that, correct?
Yes. It's right up here. So it needs cape to actually get the item. You don't actually need the hookshot. In fact, there's a convenient sign right outside that tells you so. You need the cape, but not the hookshot. And that's powder. That's kind of a mystery item. If they find the mushroom, they may be able to bypass the need to get the powder. But it is also a very convenient item to have if they were able to get it.
So, Ike here just, Windfox has found another bottle at the Norfair Reserve item. All right, Ike here is going to clean up Eastern. Windfox is in Bubble Mountain. Scarlet's going to clean up the dungeon, and So is into Village of Outcasts, so we're getting new information from So. Brewery is a Red Rupee. And Cracker pointed out Windfox also got ether from the front of the Norfair Reserve area, so that is all 3 medallions accounted for.
That's nice to not have to worry about that.
And so finds Plasma Beam at the chess game.
Oh, interesting. Scarlet actually doesn't have a glove or a hammer to get through those obstacles on the way to West Dark World, so is going to have to actually flip her over here to do so, to get there.
Yeah, I didn't mean to step on you over by the Plasma Beam thing, Jagger, so that's my bad.
Hey, no problem.
All right, like Scarlet's gonna grab a potion or two.
I've mentioned Samaria. I forget exactly where it was, but I remember pointing out that it actually might not even unlock anything at this point.
Yeah, it was Pod Big Chest.
Yeah, there you go.
Thank you, GGDQ in chat. Windfox, I think you have Wave? Or has Windfox not done the... Oh.
I don't know, actually. It was... We just saw someone get it.
Yeah, I don't remember if Windfox did the dungeon. Alright, regardless of that, Windfox is about to do Crocomire. We're going to save first, it looks like, in case Croc doesn't pan out. Again, he can reset to the save if there is nothing there. Scarlet into the Skull Woods, so heading for the digging game. Seven digs for a heart piece. That's not too bad.
Yeah. I don't know why, but I kind of like the digging game. I guess it's kind of therapeutic. Just to hang out, just dig up some dirt.
Meantime, Windfox is fighting Crocomire. Crocomire doesn't take damage the way the other bosses do. Each shot into his mouth backs him up a certain distance, and the goal is to back him up into that boiling ash that you see at the bottom of the screen. One missile after running out of supers. Not bad for Windfox. All right, there's a missile tank there. That's normally an energy tank. Ooh, there's our space jump in Skull Woods. That's one prize out of 2. That also unlocks my personal favorite troll location, which is Showcase Showdown. That's the missile tank above the Gold Teresa. You have to have space jump to get the Choser on the way there to drain the lava pool. Reason for that is a logic catch on the original Super Metroid. There's no sprite for having screw attack without also having space jump. So if you don't have space jump, then it won't let you go through to the screw attack, which is behind Gold Teresa.
But of course, walls are a suggestion, so we just shoot through a super missile gate and take the back door instead.
Indeed, and Hype Cave is a -5 out of 10 today. See me after class. Like here at the Catfish for missiles. So completes a heart. I believe it was so. Completes a heart at a good time. Post-croc power bombs was nothing. Ooh, we got a pet check for Scarlet. Let's see what we got. A fairy from the future. That is just a reserve tank. GGDQ, yes you can, but it will still be the same sprite. Unless you're playing a randomizer like this where you have a screw attack without space jump sprite. Alrighty, so it's going to give us our first look into Swamp. If we have had a Dark World map check, I have not seen it yet.
You can tell by the music. This sounds like a pendant dungeon.
On Scarlet?
Yeah, and these sound.
Okay, so that accounts for 2 pendants. Because Sahasrala told us the green pendant is in pod. And so is heading out of Swamp very quickly. And MM2Ness saying Skull was a pendant too, so that is all three pendants accounted for. Well, good checking. Good. We don't know which pendant they are, but since Pet is dead, it doesn't really matter. Windfox trying for the Indiana Jones strat to get to grapple across the rippers there.
Yeah, that's hard.
It is very hard.
They don't... Oh, they haven't gotten bombs, have they?
No, we do not have more ball bombs. We do not have the infinite bomb jump.
I think... Yeah, So does, but I guess... So and Scarlet have found it. But Iker and Windfox. That might have been Dark World access, or in Dark World somewhere.
Okay, I remember that saying Front of Thieves Town.
Yeah, okay.
So we would have just found that. Alrighty, Windfox saving at the top of the croc shaft. And heading back out of Crocmire's area. If the croc escape item was checked, I did not see that. Yeah, spring ball jump is really silly. If you jump, morph, and then turn on spring ball, it gives you a mid-air spring ball jump. I don't know why it does that.
Yeah, that's pretty fun. I guess because it was never deactivated since it wasn't on in the first place.
Meantime, So has found his second sword. I didn't see where he found it.
Well, I guess it's reactivated, rather.
Oh, Oh, Tony T. Young, one of our other trackers, it was in Hype Cave. I completely missed that. Thank you. So that takes Hype Cave up to a 3 out of 10 from a -5, an improvement of +8.
Yeah. Back in the day, Cave 73 used to be referred to as Hype Cave because it typically had, like, on average, 3 major items. It was pretty ridiculous. Back in version 18 of the Link to the Past Randomizer. But ever since then, it's been significantly nerfed to usually having just one, maybe not.
Ready, Windfox going for the lava dive gravity jump here. First try, well done.
Yeah.
Right now, Windfox does not have that space jump that Scarlet found. I don't think he does. So Windfox is not going to be able to get Showcase Showdown. If he wants to, he can fight Golterizo and at least see what it is. There's also one actual item available in Golterizo's room. Okay, there's our map check at last. Red Pendant Skull, Blue Pendant Thieves, Green Pendant Pod. And Scarlet using the Cane of Burna to make Blind an absolute joke. And we didn't point it out earlier, but there was half magic in Paradox Cave. Okay, Windfox is not heading for Golterizo. He's just going to head right for Ridley. And this room Windfox is in is effectively known as the worst room in the game.
Yeah, especially without high jump. It's pretty awful trying to get up here without high jump and space jump. You either have to infinite bomb jump or do a wall jump into a spring ball jump, or another option is like a ridiculously precise, probably frame perfect wall jump. Pair of wall jumps to get up.
The Mickey Mouse room is super missiles. I believe I see a maximum of 35 on Windfox's side. That's a 5 super buffer against Ridley. He takes 30. Trackers in chat pointing out that we have access. We can probably do Pyramid Fairy. Do we have access that way? Can we get from the bomb vendor to there?
With flippers, yes. Wait. Oh, that's tricky. There is whenever you jump off a ledge, the bomb will not follow you. There is, however, a trick where if the bomb explodes when you're going through a screen transition, the bomb will respawn behind you as you're transitioning. So you can bring the bomb into water with you, and you can use that to get to Pyramid Fairy, but it's kind of ridiculous.
If memory serves, the Link to the Past side of the logic is based on NMG, so I don't think that's accountable for.
Yeah, unfortunately, at this time, none of the minor, not even the minor glitches are accounted for in the placement logic, but the players are still allowed to use many of the minor glitches.
Oh, the Windfox is now sitting on 40 super missiles, so yeah, comfortably enough for Ridley.
So with that Bombos check, confirmed both tablets are dead.
Yeah,
Windfox and the Pirate having a staring contest.
Yeah, Flip Heel, we have seen the blue boomerang, but I don't remember where.
It'll come around again. So one option they do have, I'm not sure if they have lamp. Do they?
Yes, lamp was very early, muddy item.
Right, right. Okay, so they do have the option to fight Aghanim, and that will open up a portal in the archway of the castle, which will allow them to bring the big bomb through there, through portal transitions. So they do technically have Pyramid Fairy access that way.
Yeah, someone Scarlet can get to Aga the normal way by using the Master Sword to destroy the barrier. Ikir and Windfox could go get that. If they don't find the sword, they could go get the magic cape from the left sand pit. That will get you there too. Windfox is farming up before his Ridley fight.
.40 should be fine. In theory.
Ridley has 18,000 health. Like I mentioned, super missiles do double damage to him for 600. So Windfox has a 10 super buffer, and then 6 times regular missiles.
So an interesting quirk about Ridley's AI is that typically it'll change its patterns whenever you jump over a certain height. So if you want Ridley to continue pogoing, you can jump at that height, and usually it'll turn around and just pogo the other direction.
That's so reminding us that the blue boomerang was at the ice beam item.
Alright, Ridley should be dead now. Yeah, Windfox just needed to get grabbed. So Ridley also has a quirk where it kind of has a HP value where it will die when it grabs you, and an additional HP value for it to just die of its own accord. I'm not entirely sure if it's on a timer. I think it's damage based, but yeah, it's just generally faster to get it down to a certain HP and then get grabbed.
I remember Ness saying it. I remember Ness saying it'll die after it tries to grab you 10 times after hitting 0.
Okay, cool.
Right, so in the heated room gauntlet leading to Bubble Mountain, there's an item in here. It's just a heart piece. Post Ridley energy tank was just a missile pack. Scarlet going for the Harapot trick again. She's back here to finish off Moldorm. Ike here gets his second sword out of Hype Cave. Ooh, immediately gets bumped by Moldorm into the double fall for Scarlet. That does have to pay respects, chat.
Yeah.
Okay, looking further, what do we need for go mode? I know fire rod is mandatory.
Right. They're gonna need to find mitts at some point. They're gonna need hammer.
All right, fire rod, mitts, hammer. That also means we need that speed booster.
Yeah.
More ammo or charge, either more ammo or charge beam to deal with Mother Brain. Ooh, Scarlet takes another fall. Moldorm out for blood today. Alrighty, what do you have at Peeps in jail? That's our charge beam. I would be very surprised if Windfox doesn't go for that. And third time is the charm for Scarlet. Well done.
Yeah, the fall is my favorite season. Not so much in Link to the Past though. The charge beam right behind that what is that? Power bombs of shame? Or
Power bombs in jail.
okay. Power bombs of shame is the one before Ridley, isn't it?
Correct. All right, and Windfox has one more item on the way out of here, the Franker Z missiles.
Deer Force was really ahead of its time.
Indeed. Is there anything that we need the Pegasus boots for?
Logically a small key for desert, but you could get past that easily. Not that we know of. Potentially in Ganon's Tower, but that's about it.
Right, if the big key is on the torch.
There's also Bonk Rocks and King's Tomb that require it, but we have no way of knowing what's there.
Right. Alrighty, Scarlet is heading to the back of desert. So and Windfox are in the same general area. Oh, there's our other male upgrade at the wave being chosen. GGDQ, we just don't, it might be required to beat the game, which means we would need the Pegasus boots to get to it, but we don't know, we don't know that yet, because obviously we don't know what the item is.
Yeah, if there is an item on the right side, then boots would absolutely be required, because you need to both get to the boss and get to the right side. But without knowing what the right side is, then it's just kind of maybe. Like, logically, the boots are required for that key, but we, like, realistically don't actually need it at this point.
Yeah, logic is just a suggestion, pretty much. Alrighty, Windfox out of Norfair into the business center. MM2Ness also pointing out that the small key on Desert Torch means that boots can't be in Ganon's tower. That's good to know.
What were the red crystals? Were they both
Eastern
in
and Hera?
Eastern and Hera, interesting. So they could potentially be in the Pyramid Fairy, couldn't they?
We do still need access to the ferry, which I believe is either Mitts or Hammer, to get there without to get the bomb there without the bomb dupe glitch.
You could go through the castle portal.
Oh right, the Aga 1
mirror right
portal.
in front.
Yes. Good point.
It's a very fringe case.
I've
But
seen it
it's
required
possible.
before, so anything's possible. As the saying goes, rando gonna rando. So going from mid-air start bomb jumping to head up to the post-rod power bombs.
Might be worth just a spring ball jump in this one. You could also grapple the turtle at the top, the Ripper. And,
Yeah, that is-
swing
yeah.
across.
There are some rippers that you can grapple onto. That is one of them. There's a bunch more. There's a bunch more down in the big room. That's why it's called the Indiana Jones track, because you swing across it like Indy with the whip. Ooh, and Windfox took Kraid to the prom. Didn't get the quick kill, so Kraid stood up. And so is also going to have an easier time checking the Indiana Jones item because he has those warp ball bombs, so he can infinite bomb jump up there. So if that turned out to be something, that's going to be big for him and Scarlet.
This particular bomb jump, for me at least, is a little bit nerve-wracking just because it's such a long bomb jump and sometimes the timing doesn't quite work out to let you bounce.
MM2Ness saying that SMZ3 has a lot less required Aga 1. I agree with that because there's a lot more ways to sequence break around it in the combo.
Yeah, for sure. It's playing it very safe, making sure you don't want to gain too much height from the bombs because sometimes they'll just kind of desync and you'll just fall through the explosion. But playing it slow and surely, and they're gonna make their way all the way to the top.
But it's just a red rupee, so that's good knowledge. That's good knowledge. And now gonna bomb jump up to the grapple item. Oh, and there's our third sword at GT. And I believe
Nice.
I saw. Sorry,
They won't be getting that, huh?
not yet anyway. Might come back for it later. And Showcase Showdown is vanilla missiles, so that space jump might wind up being not mandatory.
Yeah, if they wanted that sword right now, they would have had to use supers on GT for the fight, and then farm up more supers from his projectiles, and that can take a while. Pretty solid play to just forego it for now. And hope
That
you
is
have a
what
chance to
IQ
come
is
back later.
going to do here. All right, we've also got a channel subscription from The Sign Act for 53 months. Thank you much.
Yeah, it works out for Iker because they had plenty of supers. Unfortunately, Scarlet was down to like mid to low teens, and it just wasn't worth the farm for them.
All right, Ikiri is heading into the Mire area via the cross game portal, so this is going to be brand new info. Scarlet's there too. Required medallion is ether. They both have that. All right, literally, Scarlet's gonna check the shed first. Ike's gonna check checkerboard cave first. Oh, there's our hammer. That's our access to that's our pyramid fairy access.
Yeah.
I didn't catch what Ike saw in checkerboard, but he didn't get it. So meantime, Windfox going for the snail clip. This, if he gets it, this will be new information.
I believe so. Actually, got it. I'm not sure what it was though. I don't think it was important.
If so did, I didn't see it. And checkerboard cave was blueberries. Looks like the... Oh, almost had it.
Just gotta hold down. They were getting through, but they were keeping their sprite too tall. If you hold down when you're in the air, you shorten your sprite height, so you can actually land up there.
All right, so is there anything stopping us from clearing Meyer at this point?
I don't believe so. They got the Cane of Samaria. They got, yeah, they got a cross with the hook shot, so they're good to go. Though, oh yeah, they also have the lamp from Spheron that gives them access to the left side. I think they have. Oh, they don't have Fire Rod, but
no, we have not found Fire Rod yet. Windfox looking for a Metroid to release to do the ice clip.
hoping it cooperates one day.
Flip heel, we have not found... Oh, yeah, Midtower at Meridian Main Street, hard locked by Speed Booster. Alrighty, So is into Lower North Air at this point.
The Metroid clip is a bit wonky. You gotta jump and then hold down when you're above it. I find it doesn't really work if you're holding down before you. Well, maybe because like if you're still holding down, you're doing a crouch jump and it doesn't quite work. I think you have to do a regular standing jump to get in exactly the right position that lets you stand on the Metroid. And then it just lets you stand up through the ceiling for reasons.
Windfox, you have charge and you did get plasma, didn't you? Scarlet on her way to the big key chest.
Plasma was in Village of Outcasts, so they might not actually have it.
Yeah, chat saying that Windfox hasn't been to Dark World at all yet, so that's my mistake. Charge was at the chest game. No Peeps in jail. Plasma beam was chest game.
There we go. Ooh, getting a reserve tank trigger right at the end, but it's a good thing they had that.
All right, so unfortunately, based on what we've seen, we are not going to be seeing anybody do the microwave strat, which is one of the more fun ones to see.
Yeah. grapple beam is so very useful. It's very useful for farming enemies here. You could just very rapidly kill everything and make them respawn sooner.
It really is. You can do a lot of things with it, even beyond just swinging around.
I just so happened to be watching a 100% test last night, and there were a lot of really interesting uses of grapple for damage boosting off of sparks.
Oh yes, Super Metroid probably has one of the highest gaps I've seen between human play and task play. Baker and Scarlet continuing to make their way through Misery Mire. Looks like Scarlet is further along.
Yeah, Super Metroid is has such a broad appeal. You can get through the game fairly easily, casually, and you could just utterly destroy the game like on just many different levels. You just never run out of things to learn and things to accomplish.
Right, and Scarlet making victory look like absolutely nothing for the other green rupee. Ike here hot on Scarlet's tail. Windfox into his Dragon fight. Scarlet back into Super Metroid. She's gonna finish off Lower Norfair. Dragon being very nice to Windfox and just not really smacking him around with her tail. And Fry Trip. Scarlet into the worst room in the game, but she's got all the equipment to make it look like absolutely nothing.
So, unfortunately, without Speed Booster, Windfox is trying to get a running jump, which doesn't quite give you a boost in jump height, because you're not really accelerating much faster than top run speed. So they're gonna have to opt for a gravity boost to get up.
Yeah, like I said, high jump without speed booster is kind of screwy.
And vice versa as well. Like speed booster without high jump has a weird property where you start running, or you accelerate more slowly, so you actually get lower height when you try to jump after running for a very short distance than you otherwise would when you're jumping from a standstill.
That one I didn't know. Interesting.
Yeah, when you have speed booster, your jump height is kind of calculated based on your movement speed. But without it, I don't think that's the case when you don't have speed booster. I could be wrong, but yeah, it changes things dramatically.
All right, Scarlet's saving before Ridley. So is right there. Windfox into the Dark World. Ike here also on his way to Ridley. Speed booster without high jump reduces your max height. That was the screwiness that I knew. And Ultros. No, we still have absolutely no idea where Fire Rod is, and we need speed booster to get to mix. Yeah, one gamble could swing this either way if that gamble pays off.
Yeah, currently that speed booster and Fire Rod are doing really well at this hide and go seek game tournament we're having right now. I'd say the speed booster and Fire Rod are in the lead. So we got So up on Ridley now. They're sticking with the supers. Iker are about to follow suit as well. As well as Scarlet. Scarlet and So have been kind of going hand in hand through this routing. It has been a fairly closed off seed, so maybe it's not so surprising. Basically, their only Dark World access was through Meridia, so it kind of made sense for them to go there so that they had an opportunity to split up. And now they just have so few checks left that they're just kind of in the same place at the same time once again. Windfox getting their space jump, and Iker jumping right on into Ridley. He has very few things left besides Pyramid Fairy that might wind up being what finally closes off the seed. It's very likely going to have Speed Booster to get mitts in order to finish off the seed. There are tricks you can do in Super Metroid that allow you to convert Crystal Flash into a Shine Spark by interacting with elevators and whatnot. But they're pretty finicky, and like even some of the best players probably wouldn't bother going for it in a race like this. But pretty much we're just kind of finishing off the rest of the checks we can.
Yeah, Chad asking if anything's left in pod. I wasn't counting items, but bare minimum there could be something on the green pendant unit, because that's where it is.
Yeah, they haven't checked that, have they?
No, I do not. We did not have Hammer earlier, so I don't think we had access to Helm.
Yeah.
Windfox going for the gate glitch, gets it. Ikir on his way out of Ridley. Scarlet about to get her charge beam. And so is right behind her.
I appreciate how we have some animated emotes in chat, and one of them specifically is just very slightly faster than the rest.
Yeah, one of them is from Zost and one of them is from Shiny Zenny. Caleb86, yeah, the tracker is bored.
Yeah, that's a double claw shot. They're going to be using that to finish off Skyward Sword later on.
Already, what does that hammer give us access to? At this point, it basically has to be behind the hammer.
Yeah, that's hammer pegs. That's Thief Town Big Chest. That's Pod Helmasaur King for the green pendant. It's easier access to the Pyramid Fairy, or quicker access. Oh right, not hammer pegs, cause mitts. My bad. Swamp. Yeah, that's a good play as well.
How does hammer lock swamp? I don't remember.
So after the first chest, there's a switch you gotta pull to to flood the room so you can swim across, and that switch is locked off by hammer pegs.
Oh right, the whack-a-moles. I remember now.
Yeah. All that practice at Chuck E. Cheese paying off for this tournament.
Windfox at what I like to call the picky chozo. This is the guy who doesn't let you proceed if you don't have space jump. Yeah, you just straight up will not be able to get him to drain the lava for you. Unfortunately, Windfox is going to be disappointed by the fact that OK Showdown is vanilla, so it's just missiles. Yeah, GG, the Diglets is what I meant.
Yeah.
Alrighty, looks like So is heading for Swamp. Scarlet is just crossing back into Link to the Past.
I always hate when I just fail to get the gold chorizo backed up in the corner, and then I have to do all this junk to get it to face the right way and then jump backwards. And then it always walks through me and jumps the other way.
Alrighty, So's got the big bomb. He's heading for the pyramid. And it looks like Windfox got the positioning, so yeah, he is safe there. Can hold aim down and aim up. Could hold Eleanor to aim up while crouching, and just destroy Gold Torizo from right here.
I was always annoyed that you can only set angle up and angle down to shoulder buttons, but you could put any other functionality on the shoulder buttons. So you just have to give up one of them if you want a shoulder button for something more common.
Ooh, Pyramid Fairy is a boss, just 2 packs of blueberries. High tier fires big charge plasma shot straight through Crocomire. That happens because Crocomire is not flagged to stop those shots, because you're not supposed to be able to have plasma before him. So it passes straight through his mouth and hits him every frame, which is plenty to back him up into the lava.
Yeah, that's arguably even more powerful than Grapple Beam, which is capable of ripping its arms off.
Yes, I had forgotten that was a thing.
Although you don't want to keep grappled too long. I think he could potentially go too far, doesn't that potentially soft lock?
Right, here it is. This is the room that this is where you need hammer for swamp, right?
Yeah.
Are there any other spots in swamp where you need it?
Nope. Just here.
That's kind of obnoxious.
Yep. Especially when you forget you don't have hammer.
Speaking from personal experience.
Well, I could always just pretend I just wanted to gamble that one check before it.
And honestly, I don't think that's a bad gamble. It's maybe a minute to do it.
It's pretty awful. I hate double dipping swamp.
Well, yeah, any double dip feels bad, so I get what you're saying.
Well, especially because to get into swamp, you have to go there in the dark world, and then mirror to the light world and go in and drain the dam, and then take the portal back into the dark world. And that whole process just feels really tedious to me, and I hate having to do it more than once.
All right, looks like Scarlet plundered the key and is going to go for Diver Cloud.
Yeah, so this used to be considered a huge mistake that everyone fears accidentally making in a race or something. But now it's an intended strat. You just make use of the Kin of Samaria to screw with your movement mechanics and just push you through the railing. You can also use bombs to clip yourself into the railing as well. You can use a very similar setup or even a different setup. There are apparently several setups to do this, but you could just jump through the water layer and into the next room.
Yeah, the splash animation that plays when you jump off the stairs is what triggers your shift to the swimming animation. By jumping down from the railing, you skip that animation so you never start swimming.
I want to say there's like a tile or something where you jump in that keeps you on the layer you jumped from, or something like that. So you don't go down to the bottom floor, but by jumping off the side, you also bypass that tile that just allows you to jump to the bottom layer instead.
If I understand the trick correctly, the game trigger that causes you to start swimming right there is jumping down from the stairs. So by wedging yourself into the railing and jumping down from there, you use a standard jump down ledge transition, which doesn't include the splash, so you never start swimming.
Yeah.
I think I had to say that twice. I should probably rebind my push to talk so it's not so close to the Windows key. Because I've done that at least twice tonight.
There's another, oh well, there it is, Speed Booster in Swamp Palace, in the back of Swamp. So there's another strat that just allows you to swim by jumping off a ledge into, like Hylia, for example, and it seems like a similar but different property to me, so I don't fully understand it, to be honest.
If you're referring to the fake flipper strat, I believe that just functions by triggering a screen transition on the same frame you hit the water, so that the splash never has time to play.
Yeah, exactly. There are other shenanigans you could do as well, just to overload the certain memory sets, so that the splash animation just can't play.
Yeah, I've seen that too.
So many things to do.
Yeah, I've seen that done to get the Zora ledge item.
That's a particularly hard one too. It's very useful to learn though.
And one silver arrow into Helmasaur King Fuel, and down he goes. Looks like So and Ike here both had the same idea to check that green pendant. Although Helmet did have that one last prize, that heart piece. Yes, and now that we have that speed booster from Swamp, we also have access to Waterway underneath where the charge beam usually is. That is the one item that speed booster locks that you cannot check in advance. Looks like Sahasrala didn't have anything on that pendant because I saw some rage slashes from So.
So it's looking like Windfox is going to be getting their speed booster shortly after as well. So these teams are pretty close at the moment, and it looks like it's probably going to come down to where that fire rod is going to be.
Yeah, whichever team finds it first is definitely going to have the advantage. All right, Scarlet's back into Super Metroid as Windfox is getting ready for Swamp. Looks like So is going back into Swamp. No, So hasn't done Swamp yet. Scarlet just did.
You know what would be awful and is totally not going to happen? It's a fire rod on Laser Bridge. But it could.
You are an evil, evil man.
I'm just saying. It's possible. But that would never happen. Scarlet doing a short charge with the speed booster to get those mitts. So the speed booster is a very interesting item when it comes to charging Shine Sparks, because in Super Metroid specifically, it kind of increments your I guess your charge state in like 4 steps, and it only checks on certain frames of your running animation whether or not you're holding the run button. And when you're holding the run button, you normally you increase your velocity, but your running animation stays the same. So by releasing the run button, you could actually run a shorter distance, but still get the same amount of progress towards the speed boost. So a lot of like one of the first things you learn is to just start pressing run after you start running, to just get that little bit of extra distance, and that's enough for that mainstream Meridia Shine Spark.
Yeah, there's one key frame where the boost counter increments. I believe it's Samus's front foot at full extension.
Yeah.
Already getting new tickets from Scarlet over in Ice Palace. 3 prizes here, if I recall correctly. And there's the fire rod. That is no mode.
Yeah, now they both their team knows where everything is, so they can just go directly to their destination, just fight all the bosses they need to, and be done with the seed.
The only thing that could trip us up is if Ganon's Tower Big Key is on the torch.
Yeah, true. So it's mostly go mode.
Schrodinger's go mode.
Yeah.
Scarlet going for Icebreaker. That's another clip strat. Gets it very handily. GGDQ. I actually saw that happen live at GDQ Express when Oats and Goats and Andy did the combo randomizer. Alrighty, so if I'm reading this right, So and Scarlet just have to do Ice Palace and Turtle Rock before the end games.
Yeah, that looks right.
Okay, so yeah, at this point I feel comfortable saying So and Scarlet have the advantage, but I'm not. But Ikea and Winfox can easily come back from this depending on how quickly they get to Ice Palace.
And it's gonna take a lot of hustle. But yeah, they still got plenty of game left to go.
Scarlet going ballistic with that fire rod. It makes quick work of Colt's Terror. Okay, I'm looking at the tracker and has So done Desert yet?
Probably not.
Yeah, the tracker is just an absolute gong show right now.
He's just wearing his Halloween costume.
And to Ness pointing out that since Fire Rod is in Ice Palace, that Bombos from Brinstar is required, so Ikir's gonna have to go back for that.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure it's impossible to hit Argus with the silvers like when Fox just did. But yeah, it does one-shot him. I can never hit that. Takes like 8 shots.
Alright, it's Starlet about to get her 7th Crystal Dungeon in Turtle Rock. So once we get to Trinex, let's play the big key guessing game. There are 22 locations where it can be, but yeah, we're going to start the game once we get to Trinex, because that would give us a little bit of a buffer before Scarlet heads over there. Normally we started as the 7th crystal is collected, but in Scarlet's case, it's only going to be about 90 seconds, if that. So what do you think, Jagger? Does Scarlet go mode this, or stop and check a few extra locations, hoping for those boots to absolutely lock in the go mode?
Pretty much just go mode it. Definitely not gonna check the lava chest. It's just, well, actually, you know, in co-op it is a little different. You might as well check things on the way, because the whoever wins is based on a team who both complete the game. Like, whenever the second player on your team crosses the finish line, that is your time. So whoever's in the lead may actually wind up looking for boots a little bit longer. maybe even checking Lava Chest and Mimic Cave wouldn't be a bad idea. I find it kind of funny, the intended strat for this Main Street Meridia missile is to come in from another room to Shine Spark with a visual cue from the little grass patch on the bottom. And I find that significantly harder than the short charge up halfway through the room.
The cross room Shine Spark charge was how I learned it. And question in chat, boots have not been fat. We do not know where they are. Our concern right now is the Schrodinger's Go mode, because what if the big Gannon's Tower big key is on the torch?
Oh, right. Okay, so Desert Palace logically requires it, so there's nothing blocking boots from being anywhere else besides GT. And right side desert. Of course, they were going to get the lava chest anyway, because that's where the big key is today.
That's the vanilla location, right?
Yep.
Wind Fox is checking the left sand pit at this point. Unfortunately, we know this is not going to pan out. He is going to get that cape. It looks like So has Misery Mire and Turtle Rock left to do. Alrighty. Ikira is about to grab his mitts. Wind Fox is on his way out of Meridia.
Other than boots, I guess sword would be nice. Another sword just makes Ganon so much easier. Especially for Trinex as well, it does speed up the fight. But, yeah.
Yeah, better sword would be great, but is not mandatory. Temper, we are on tempered, so we don't need to worry about doing spins at least. Alright, he had Scarlet heading for Laser Breach. 4 checks here. I'm not sure what else left. Looks like she's gonna head out to set the respawn point. And gonna use Cane of Burden to do this. Whoops.
Well,
hey. There's no Pegasus boots. How about that?
And Sankheart. Nice.
Well timed for Scarlet.
So interesting tidbit about heart containers in A Link to the Past. All of the heart containers will increase your health by 1, of course, but only the heart from the sanctuary will fully refill your hearts when you pick it up.
Alrighty, with the discovery of those Pegasus boots, now I'm pretty comfortable saying this is FROMPS' race to lose at this point. Alrighty, folks, we are right at. So let's start getting your guesses in on where in Dennis Tower that big key is going to be. I'm going to go with my favorite guess, 4 always wins.
Oh, I missed it on So's end, but they did some pretty good spooky action glitchery in Mire to be able to just bypass a lot of blocking by being able to fire rod through walls and whatnot to hit switches.
Alrighty, So is exactly 1 dungeon behind Scarlet. Oh no, he's 2 dungeons behind. I guess he does have to finish Desert. Seymour Rocks, there's the tracker is messed up at this point. They're not, yeah, it's mother brain. Alright, looks like Scarlet is starting off with full left. Just blueberries on the torch, so we did not need those. We did not need those Pegasus boots.
There it is.
That was number 3. I was so close.
Oh. I normally guess 8, and 3 is half of 8. So, since there are 2 players, you put the 2 3s together, and that makes 8, right? That's how that works.
I'm gonna pretend that all made sense. Congratulations, GGDQ, for winning the guess. Scarlet gonna stop off and grab a ferry. Unfortunately, the bug net never showed up, so no way to capture one. And into the 4th floor gauntlet. Whoever designed this must have been having a really bad day. Enemies and conveyors, at a BMOS, then at spikes at another BMOS, and then at ice. Why? Why would you do that? Did someone hurt you?
Oh, that was my fault. I'm sorry.
Do you need a hug, Jagger?
That would be nice.
Okay, I'm sending you a virtual hug. You can't feel it, but it's there.
Thank you.
Meantime, Scarlet just makes it look like it's absolutely nothing. Alrighty, Lad Mole is 2, 1, 2, 3, 0 cycle like a pro. Some Mario strats on the Wiz Robes, absolutely a good feeling when you get that one. Little harder to do it in this room, but gets it done again, just makes it look like nothing. gotta be careful in this area because if the torches go out as you're climbing up the stairs, you will despawn the entire top of the tower, and you'll have to go back. You'll have to mirror back, and do the entire thing over.
Yeah, it's a pretty incredible frame perfect trick.
I have seen it happen though.
Depending on how fast you get through those first torches, some people may even opt to just wait before the stairs, before even trying to go up.
Old Orm 2 with Temperance Sword is an absolute joke. Bottle chest in the game is just $20. Alrighty, Wind Fox is into Ice Palace. I believe he's past where we found the fire rod, so he has to be in no mode. Oh, it was. Okay, so yeah, so the team is in no mode at this point. Nice triple to start off Aga 2 for Scarlet.
Yeah. It's deceptively hard to do well on the Aga fight, and nice double to finish it off.
Yeah, 3-1-2, very well done. Oh, it looks like Ikir is going to finish off Super Metroid before.
Interesting. That's an option. You can beat the games in any order you want.
Right, and Ikir never found those warp ball bombs, so yeah, he got grabbed there. He is going to have to power bomb the Metroids. Oh, he does have them, MM2NES? Huh. Oh, he didn't refill his ammo. He's low. Scarlet already into phase 3 on Mother Brain. Ganon. Scarlet does not get Torch Glitch. Broad has half magic. There's 3 silver arrows. And get your single Legion chat because we got bacon for Scarlet.
Did Iker get any super missile drops throughout Turin?
It looks like he didn't.
Oh, it's only one drop for a Metroid when you do use PBs? Wow.
Oh yeah, that I had forgotten about that. Yeah, there's only a single explosion from them when you power bomb them, instead of the little kind of a cluster.
Probably like sound and graphics limitations or something.
Possibly. I'm not sure. Alright, Scarlet saved and quit after beating Ganon, and then hard reset to spawn back at the ship, like I mentioned you can do earlier. And she's on her way to Torian. She'll be done in about, barring a catastrophe, she'll finish in about 15 minutes. I can wait for that
At least
baby.
within that, yeah.
Sorry, what'd you say?
At least within 15 minutes for sure.
I can wait for the baby Metroid skip. Did not get it, so I had to recharge there. And let's see here. Ikiri is going to have to be really careful. He could possibly soft lock if he uses his ammo wrong. Actually, no. He has enough regular missiles. Worst case scenario, he might have to backtrack to that refill room and refill his missiles. But no, he's not going to soft lock.
Especially if they know the... okay, they are turning off screw attack to make the Zeptite skip considerably easier. So basically, when you freeze an enemy and it's like exactly aligned with the floor, you kind of land on the floor and the enemy at the same time. And since the enemy is since the Rinka is inside the wall, it kind of like pulls you inside of it by 1 pixel. And by being inside of the Zebetite, it doesn't stop you from moving through it. So you can just jump right on through.
I think you're able to just progress straight through because each Zebetite doesn't spawn until the one before it is gone.
Yeah, that as well.
Yeah, this is going to be really close for Iker. No, he didn't get it. Wait, with the glass broken, with the glass broken all the way, it will stay gone. So he just has to come back with 30 missiles to do 3,000 damage to Mother Brain Phase 1. Scarlet went for the baby skip 2 and did not get it. That's unfortunate.
I'll get that one day. Maybe I should actually practice the game once in a while. I don't know.
I don't have a good mindset for racing this kind of stuff. I prefer to take my time and do everything I can. Like I just do the commentary and I watch other people race. That's plenty for me.
Yeah, even with tricks I can't do, there's still fascinating to learn about.
Scarlet gonna have a little bit of a delay here because when you destroy a frozen Rinka, the spawner it came from won't spawn a new one until after the freeze timer has run out.
Here we go, simultaneous Mother Brain 2 fights.
Now, Mother Brain has 18,000 health in this phase. As I've mentioned, charged Ice Ray Plasma is 900 damage, so we're just looking for 20 charge shots.
And since they have full beams charged up, what we might... Oh, we won't be able to see it on Scarlet's end, but one thing Iker could do at least is they could use their... Looks like they're triggering their reserves. And they're gonna fill up to just over 700 HP, and then they're gonna get hit by the rainbow beam, but they'll be able to stand up, and as Mother Brain's walking forward, they're gonna damage back down below 101 HP, and that's... Okay, no, they're just... Is this gonna work? Okay, that did work.
Yeah, I believe the reason this works is because the game lets you stand up immediately, but it doesn't check to see if Mother Brain should fire another rainbow beam for a little bit. So if you damage yourself back down fast enough, you won't be in the stuck down position you normally are, which damages you to less than 300 points with the rainbow. Then there's a couple of points where the game does try to stick you down. You can see Iker's sprite glitch out a little bit when it does that. But if you just stay in the air at those points, it won't work properly, and then when you land, you can start doing damage to Mother Brain Phase 3. There it is. All right, IQ just has to be careful now that the Metroid is in a position where Mother Brain can damage it once it finishes healing. You can't soft lock this. Now, Mother Brain Phase 3 has 36,000 health. If you do the stand-up trick perfectly, there is just enough time to get all 40 of those in before the end of the cutscene and the game giving you the hyper beam. So Iker has to be very careful here, because if you have a regular shot on the screen, when the game changes into the hyper beam, you will crash the game.
There are some cases where if the beam is gonna despawn soon enough, it may just lag the game incredibly and move at like 1 frame per like 10 plus seconds. But usually you might as well just reset at that point.
Scarlet has the escape timer because she already beat Link to the Past. Iker doesn't because he hasn't done that yet. Charlotte does the moonfall strat there. It involves walking backward off a ledge and jumping with the moonwalk effect turned on. That's a game setting, and it lets you fall with uncapped vertical speed. Ooh, whiffs the shine spark there. But she's got enough health, she's gonna charge a new one.
I'm told in chat that in certain cases when you're like stuck in an incredibly laggy state, you can potentially hold item cancel to get out of it.
And for the meantime, because she has plenty of time, Scarlet is going to save the animals. Whips the shine spark there again. That's unfortunate.
Very important. This is going to allow them to get favorable RNG when they move on to Metroid Fusion.
Speaking of Metroid Fusion, I actually just played a Fusion Randomizer seed last night, and it was great. Surprised someone was actually able to manage to do that with all the story fights and such. But in the meantime, let's get your GGs in chat for Scarlet, who has finished first place overall with a time of 2 hours 40 minutes 45 seconds. If I recall tournament protocol correctly, we'll get, if she's interested in an interview, we're going to wait for So to finish as well before we get that in here.
Yes.
When Fox making his way through Turtle Rock, Iker is in ice. So they're definitely in go mode at this point, but it is unfortunately way too late. Alrighty, in the meantime, while we're waiting for So to finish up, let's give a shout out to all of our racers. So and Scarlet, Team FROMPS time. Ikira Winfox 470, Team Poor Life Choices. Shout out to everybody who you see scrolling up your screen on Scarlett's side. Especially Total, the madman behind the cobot. I think that makes the randomizer work. Thank you so much, man, for all the entertainment, all the fun. Like this is one of the coolest feats of software engineering I've ever seen.
Iker is pretty low on health for the cold stare fight. It shouldn't be a huge issue, especially with the butter sword they have. It's gonna help a ton. And it looks like they delayed the Bombos a little bit to make sure the ice falls in a favorable position or at a favorable timing, so they can just swing the butter sword and finish off with a fire rod very quickly, not taking any damage whatsoever. Very nicely done.
Very clean fight. Wind Fox is heading through Laser Bridge. Is not gonna head down and get those Pegasus boots.
That's unfortunate.
Looks like So also did not get the baby skip. That is again unfortunate.
Yeah, although one thing you can do to save a bit of time if you do get grabbed by the baby is as soon as, like right before you're about to get down to 1 health, you just turn right. And when you're facing right, there is no animation for like slowly standing up. So you just go like straight to standing up very quickly, saving, I want to say like, I forget, I want to say like 70 frames or maybe only 20, I don't know. But it's a lot of time for just something so simple as just turning right.
45 frames.
45, okay, thank you.
Alrighty, So making the safety save right before the Zebetite room. Oh, it is 40 frames. I always thought it was 45 for some reason. So does the Zebetite skip on the second one instead of the first. I've never seen that before. Right, So has 39 of those super missiles left. Looks like he's not going to use. Okay, he is going to use them. They're actually slightly better DPS, just for the fact that you can fire them faster. You don't have to chart. It's very close though.
I think the beams are slightly faster DPS, but it's harder to time the beams optimally. So I think it's kind of just easier to use supers.
I would agree with that assessment.
Oh, is it tied? Okay.
Yeah, I remember Tunez saying tied to the frame under task conditions.
My mistake. Okay.
All right, So is going for the stand-up glitch as well. Watch right there. That you saw. I'm sure. Yeah, that was the visual glitch that you look for to know when you need to kind of know when the game is trying to stick you down.
Oh, that's why that's why humans do charge beam, because it's just trickier to swap to supers to maintain the. Or to item count. Wait. That doesn't make sense. Although in speedruns, they are typically out of supers by that point.
If I'm understanding what MM2 Ness is saying right, it's faster to start on the charge beam and stay on the charge beam than it is to worry about weapon swapping when you run out of supers.
I see. Okay.
So stopping the charge shots very early, just got to play it safe.
He plays it safe by immediately jumping into Mother Brain's face.
That was 13 hyper beam shots, I believe. Reasonably good stand up. Alrighty, Windfox is in Ganon's tower. I'm not sure what he's doing. And Ikir is heading for Turtle Rock.
Nice.
Was he doing Mimic Clip?
Yeah,
Was
sure did.
Oh,
Guess they wanted silvers for Ganon or something. I don't know. Maybe that was just for practice.
he does have only 5 arrows. You may be right.
There is a chance if you're trying to grab arrows in that second Igor room that maybe if a Beamos tries to shoot you in the middle of it, it'll despawn the arrows when you pick up the pot. So that they may have just been trying to play it safe by not needing them.
Yeah, Windfox has 1 arrow of leeway when he gets to Ganon.
It's about to have 6 arrows of leeway. Oh, well. There's also another arrow pot right after the Landmola's 2 fight.
Yeah, that 5 drop was perfectly timed. Now he doesn't need to worry about picking up the pot. But he's gonna go for it anyway.
I think there are 2 throughout this series of rooms, and then 1 more after Landmo. But the one after Landmo is just more convenient because things aren't shooting at you at the time.
Alrighty, get your GGs in chat. So 15 has finished in second place at a time of 2 hours 50:06. And with that, Ikir and Windfox have elected to forfeit and not finish this out. Alrighty, So and Scarlet are both declining the interview. So although it looks like we do have Windfox and Ikir coming in to talk. All right, they're in our setup room. They'll be joining us shortly.
That was a heck of a seed.
It really was. Definitely fun to watch. Alrighty, we are joined by Ikir and Windfox. Great attempt from both of you.
Thanks, that was a crazy seed.
It really was.
Yeah, we played a 50-50 and it did not work out.
As the saying goes, rando got a rando.
Yeah, that hammer location. Whew.
I knew it as soon as y'all found almost everything in Kakariko. I was like, there's no way the seed is gonna be free.
It really is.
There's always a troll somewhere. It's just a matter of finding it and getting to it before your opponent.
It was a really tough one too, with like all the tight wall jumping you had to do and everything.
And it just really came down to that decision to for Windfox to go to Ridley instead of going to my area and PT. Because I had the red cane, he didn't. So we said that I was going to go down and I was going to take care of my area while he went to Ridley. And, well, that's how it turned out.
Yeah. Plus, I didn't have a way to get back up out of the GT area. I didn't have space jump or IBJ or anything like that to get up and out, which is why we made that call for me to just finish off Ridley, clear the rest of Escape.
Now, obviously, with the benefit of hindsight, that 50-50 didn't pan out. Other than that, was there anything about your routing you felt good or bad about?
I felt good about the Meridia into all of Dark World play. I mean, that seemed to be the path that it wanted us to go in until we found the hammer later, where we didn't need to do that at all. But finding all the stuff that helped me finish like all of Super Metroid on that route, but surely Red Cane in Pod, that would have helped you like finish Meyer when you were first there. But I also felt bad about not refilling my ammo before going down to get the Bombos medallion. It's like, oh, I can go take out Mother Brain with this ammo, no problem.
Also, I was wondering if you noticed Desert Palace happened to be logically boots locked this seed.
Yeah, we never found it. Did the other team find it?
They did indeed. You'll be relieved to hear it was actually in Laser Bridge, so it was one of the last things you would ever find.
Oh, yeah, that was the back of our mind.
Yeah, because when we found this small key up there, we're like this is logically boots locked, which means anything that is over there is going to be locked behind the boots. So unless we find the boots, we're never going back there ever again, or something stupid like Fire Rod was going to be over there.
It was getting dangerously close to an Aga required seed post Dark World as well, because you actually had Pyramid Fairy access through Aghanim without the hammer. We were wondering if maybe hammer or something is going to be there.
So I had pitched the idea about bomb duping. Ikir said he either isn't comfortable enough with doing it. I could do it, but we were lucky enough to find the hammer before then because I was willing to bomb dupe if we had to.
At that point, I also hadn't gone up and done Harry yet, so I wasn't able to do the big bomb.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, and at some point, it's probably just worth it just to do Aghanim anyway if you're not comfortable with the bomb dupe.
Which sure was a thought once I got that Master Sword out of Hype Cave. But fortunately, we didn't have to do Aga, and Siege trolled us in other ways.
Yeah. Yeah, we like the closer we got to Aga, that's when the serious discussion of bomb duping and maybe even just figuring out a way to get that bomb without having to do Aga, which pretty much would have relied on me bomb duping and hoping nothing's there.
The other thing I felt bad about was leaving the cape behind in Meridia to go to the Dark World and seeing that powder on the cape ledge. I'm like, oh, I really hope that's nothing. At that point, we started looking for a hammer, fire rod, boots, speed booster, and yeah, either those can be a magic bat.
Yeah.
Never found the mushroom to do the mushroom glitch. The fake powder.
Okay, so next question. Letter grade scale. How much fun was this one for you guys?
I had fun with it. How about you?
Yeah. I mean, compared to the dozen or so practice seeds we've done, this one is, outside of the hammer, has actually been one of the more generous seeds we've played in quite a while.
It's like the ones with the weird routing where you have to go through Meridia to get to all of Dark World. And then those routes, I like those in the Howard Logic seeds.
Yeah, that was really interesting. It was yeah, thanks to both of you and to the other team as well for putting on a good show.
Yep, GG's to Scarlet and So.
Yep, GG's to
them
them
on their next match.
So anything else you'd like to add? Any other questions?
Thanks for the restream. Thanks for the trackers and everyone and the commentators and everyone putting this on. Appreciate all your work.
Had a great time watching you guys.
Glad we put on a show.
Great. And with that, thank you very much to our trackers today, MM2 Cartridge and Tony T Young, and thanks Big Bach for joining me on commentary. It's been a blast.
I had a great time talking with you, Jagger.
And is the other race still going on? We might head on over there. So we got so many tournament matches throughout the weeks. Keep an eye out for SpeedGaming, and we will see you all there.
Real quick, we've got 2 coming up tomorrow evening. We have Young Chaos versus Order of the Elephant, and then that's it tomorrow at 8:10. Then we have Lack Attack and F. Coughlin versus Beef Robber and Crocomeyer, also at 8:10.
Right, and see you guys next mission.
See you next mission. Take care, everybody.